Hey viewers, my name's Cara. I'm your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and have been since August of 2009. Every so often when people leave the collab channel, we hold auditions for new substitute members, and since we're currently in the voting process of this year's new substitute auditions, I thought it'd be fun for us to do a sort of audition-inspired video and talk about who we are as part of the channel and what we bring to it. Dancing Rabbit and I are the only two remaining original members, so everyone else has at some point auditioned and been voted onto the channel. Also, before I go any further, for those of you just joining, I don't usually look like this, but I do wear all black as a requirement for work, and I am coming from work to rehearsal for a show I'm in to just getting home tonight, which is also why this video is very late. When we first started the Pagan Perspective back in 2009, Kyle and I were the co-founders, and we were in school and didn't really have work aside from that, so we had a lot of time to spend watching videos and commenting and really getting involved in the Pagan YouTube community. Over the years since then, we've gone on to bigger and better things and different things, and my schedule is a little bit fuller now. So who I am in relation to the channel, other than the co-founder and the Tuesday host, is that I'm also sort of, as Dancing Rabbit has called me in the past, the chairperson of the board, or the representative. I'm also somewhat the organizer. I am the person who actually goes to all of the different locations where people have posted suggestions for topics, and I compile them into a list, separate them by the type of question that they are so that we can answer some different sorts of questions instead of just very similar things all the time. And then I'm the one who actually sends that out to the other members. As far as my hosting style and sort of what I bring to the channel through my videos, again, having recently watched the audition videos for this year's round of auditions, people said things such as what they can bring to the channel, and one of them that I think I also bring is honesty. But I definitely have a way of going about being honest where I always intend to be, and attempt to be, respectful of everyone's views, and I'm always wanting to learn. Some people might call it being politically correct. I see it more as just always having a respect for everybody and trying to see things from a different point of view, so that even when I'm disagreeing with people, they understand and get the impression that I'm really just disagreeing with them. It's not that I have any other sort of personal problem with them or anything like that, so I always like to be respectful even when disagreeing. And I've also been called in the past too universal, which was meant to be an insult, but I am also a Unitarian Universalist. I attend a Unitarian Universalist church, so I do have this very sort of universal view about me, and I do understand where that person was coming from as I seek to understand where people are coming from. And though it was meant as a bad thing, I don't think it is a bad thing for me, and so that's a perspective that I bring. As far as the area of my path goes, I've talked about that a lot on this channel, and you'll see lots of videos where I talk about it, so I won't go into that very much. But I am in my 20s, I am a college graduate, I have a degree in theater arts. I mentioned that I'm currently in rehearsals for a show. I'm also going to be stage managing a show in a couple months here in the spring. So I do a lot of different arts-related things. I make jewelry, I have an Etsy shop, so I'm very hands-on and very creative. I also really like public speaking, and so the theater goes along with that. So I think that I definitely bring that quality to the channel as well, and to my personal channel, just as a vlogger. I am a talker. I am a verbal communicator for sure. Something that I think could be considered a pro and a con of the way that I do things is that there's so much going on and there's so many different things that I want to learn, but at the same time I know that I can't do it all at once. So I tend to get really deeply involved with certain things that I'm studying, and then other things I might start to learn a bit about but realize that I don't have time to really get deeply into them yet, so I'll set them aside for later. So there are several things that I try to have a basic working knowledge of, but I don't have as in-depth information about it yet. Sometimes people see that as a downside because they think, well, why didn't you just learn about this yet? Because it's so easy and you can just read these books or whatever. But it's really just because there are certain things that I'm learning right now, and then there's certain things that I'll learn down the line, and I think that I have time. Sorry, I've been talking really loudly and really fast together without pauses because my roommate had several people over when I got home that I didn't know were going to be here, and they were being very loud, so I was trying to drown them out, but they're actually gone for the moment, so I'm going to wrap this video up without any background noise. So I was talking about the downsides. Another thing that I think has been a downside to my involvement in the channel lately is just that, as I said, I have a fuller schedule now, and so it's been really difficult to watch every single video as it comes in, and I tend to see them much later, so I don't have as much of the immediate engagement that we had back in 2009 when we started, and I want to get some of that back. So we have been talking about some different ways that hopefully in this new year with our new substitutes and, into the future, maybe there's some different elements that we can bring to the collab that'll help the hosts feel more connected to each other again, and will also help us connect to our audience again, and will help you guys connect to us as well. So just all around, we'd like to bring some new things in. Nothing that's going to drastically change what we've already been doing, because obviously we like what we do and we don't want to change it, but we want to add to it. So that's me, that's who I am here on the channel. And that's a pretty good portion of who I am in the rest of my life as well, though there is definitely more going on in my personal channel and in my physical world life. I'm excited to start the calendar year 2015. I don't know about all of you. I don't do resolutions, but there's definitely goals that I make for myself of just like things that I want to do in the new year, not necessarily changes that I want to make or things that I say, I'm definitely going to do this, but I'm just always seeking to improve. I always want to do better, I always want to do more, and starting this year taking on a lot of projects. As I said, I'm stage managing, I'm in a show right now, and there's some new business ventures going on as well, and just a lot of projects that are still in the works from my personal channel that have been ongoing for a while now. So that's probably my biggest downside, really, as far as who I am on YouTube. I've got all these things going on, all my hands in many different pots. Is that a saying? I feel like that's a saying. It reminds me of raccoons putting their hands into jars. Anyway, that's my video for this week. I'll see you next week with a topic video. And until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.